الحمد لله الذي لم يخلق الإنسان عبثا ولم يتركه سدى بل خلقه ليذكره وكلفه ليشكره أناط سعادته وكماله بطاعته وربط شقاءه وخسرانه بمعصيته القائل أفحسبتم أنما خلقناكم عبثا وأنكم إلينا لا ترجعون وأفضل الصلاة وأتم التسليم على أفضل وأشرف وخير وأزكى خلق الله وعلى آله وأصحابه الطيبين الطاهرين وعلى أزواجه أمهات المؤمنين ومن تبعهم بإحسان إلى يوم الدين. أما بعد, my brothers and sisters in the I enjoin upon you and upon myself the fear of Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala. Insha'Allah, our khutbah today will be focusing on two manners enjoined by the Messenger sallallahu alayhi wa sallam in a hadith transmitted by Imam al-Bukhari. In that hadith, the Messenger sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is saying that تطعم الطعام وتقرأ السلام على من عرفت ومن لم تعرف. So in this noble hadith, the Messenger sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is telling us that, or enjoining upon us, that we should, feed others. That is تطعم الطعام, feed others. وتقرأ السلام, and you say salam على من عرفت, to the one you know, ومن لم تعرف, and someone you don't know. The Messenger sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, as usual, to guide us towards things that will give us life. As usual, guide us towards things that give us happiness, that give us tranquility, that give us security, that give us peace. Yes, apart from maybe effort of the leaders, but we must understand that fundamentally the state of our environment depends on each and everyone's behavior. And that is why the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam in various hadith try to guide us, to teach us towards things that will make us better people. That ultimately he told us in the hadith that إِنَّمَا بَعِثْتُ لِأُتَمِّمَ مَكَارِمَ الْأَخْلَاقِ. He said, I've been sent to fulfill noble character. So what determines the state of every society, every community, is the character of the people. What determines your safety or your lack of safety is also have to do with the character of the people. Is the one who will harm you. It's about his character. It's what he is used to doing. It's what he wants to do. That he is doing which is harmful to you. Or the one who will do what will save you is about what he wants to do that he is doing that will save you. And so when we come into Islam, the Messenger ﷺ usually guide us towards attitudes, towards characters that will help us have a better society. And among those things is what? Is a تطعم الطعام, feed others. Yes, it's easy to say that, things are not working well. People are suffering. People are hungry. So then you now ask yourself, within your own capacity, within your own means, what are you doing to take people out of that hunger? What are you doing to take people out of that suffering? Because everybody have something to do. So not until you are in power before you can feed others. Yes, you feed in power and you feed outside power. You feed as a rich man and you feed as a poor man. So the Muslim here, he is not talking to any particular set of people. He's talking to all of us. He's talking to those who are righteous. So no one is exempted. Even if it is 50 naira you have, you can feed somebody. He said to us, تُطْعِمُ الطَّعَامَ. Do what? Feed others. When you look at when Allah Ta'ala is talking about his righteous words in the Quran, he said, وَيُطْعِمُونَ الطَّعَامَ. They feed, people, عَلَى حُبِّهِ, with the love of Allah. Although the love that they are giving out. Miskinan, the poor, وَيَتِيمًا, and the orphan, وَأَسِيرًا, and the war captives. And they do all that. After doing that, what will they say? إِنَّمَا نُطْعِمُكُمْ لِوَجْهِ اللَّهِ. We are providing you, we are feeding you, we are giving you for the sake of who? For the sake of Allah. لَا نُرِيدُ مِنْكُمْ جَزَاءً وَلَا شُكُورًا. We don't expect jazaa, any recompense or reward from you, wala shukura, or appreciation. It's like I say this, in most cases, when you talk about giving, most of us usually think about those who are well, who are rich. Everybody, like I do say to us, everybody is rich. Nobody is completely poor, and nobody is completely what? Rich. Nobody. Nobody is completely poor, and nobody is completely what? Rich. Everybody is rich. Everybody is what? Poor. And everything anyone has, there are those who need it. Anything you have, there are those who need it. What you think is important to you, that is not important to another person. As we usually tell ourselves, yes, we need to understand what wealth is, because we always have wrong notion of many things. Most of us have wrong notion of what wealth means. Al-ghina, al-rizq, if you like. Ma huwa al-rizq. What is wealth? Al-rizq huwa madha? Kullu ma yuntafa'u bihi. Anything useful is wealth. Anything useful is wealth. That's all. Like now, if you have that understanding, you may look at someone thinking you are richer than him while the person is feeling he is richer than you. Some people doesn't count their wealth, like we usually give ourselves example from time to time. Some people don't count their wealth using the money they have in the bank. He hardly have money in the bank. He is even indebted to the bank or to some people, but he still knows he is wealthy. Because if he wants to give back the money, he knows how to get the money back. Someone will count his wealth based on how many houses he has. He's counting. When you say how much do you have, he will sit down and capture the number of houses and value those houses. So you see, so when you ask him how much you have, he won't tell you 1 million or 2 million or 3 million. First he will sit down and think what? How many houses? Because that money you are talking about, if he wants to get the money, what do he do? Is to sell one of the house and to turn it to what? To money. Another person, if you ask him, if you think he is not rich, to him he is rich. Because he will tell you how many shares he has in so company. That's what he's counting. Another person will count for you the number of cows, that is animals, he has. Somebody will count for you the number of rams. Another one will count for you the number of camels. And another one will count for you the degrees he has. Because he feels with that he can get a job. Another person will count for you the experience. So he knows when he comes out to the market, he will, somebody will want to do business, he will tell you, I don't have money. And another person will be given money, he will say, I don't need the money. Because what he needs to get money is the experience, and he has it. You have like the case of Abdul Rahman bin Auf, radiallahu anhu. Yes, he was one of the richest people in Medina. But when he came to Mecca, when he migrated to Mecca, he left everything he has in Mecca. He came to Medina, what? Empty-handed. That is, monetarily poor, but experience-wise rich. So you see, the person he was joined with by the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the person told him to look that he will share his wealth, and he was a rich person too. So he will share his property into two, and he will give him half, and let him check among his wives the one he wants, he will divorce her for him to marry. Just the way many of the Sahabas did that time. Then he said to that Sahaba, may Allah put barakah into your wealth and your family for you. Just show me the road to the market. That's all. So all he needs is what? Where is the market? Because another person knows that he can enter the market, collect goods on credit, sell the goods, pick his gain, and return the what? The money to the owner. Just as you will see some people running in the traffic. Maybe he collects goods, come and sell in the traffic, maybe drinks or whatever. He will go and pay and take his what? Gain. From there he is building his own capital gradually already. So he feels he doesn't have to go and ask anybody for capital. So that means his wealth is what? His experience. But another person will feel he cannot do business until somebody gives him money. That's his own level of what? Understanding. Oh, maybe you have knowledge. Yes, you teach somebody, he pays you. So that is your own wealth. They say you use what you have to what? To get what you want. So, the Prophet said, وَتُطْعِمُ الطَّعَامِ, feed others. So don't say, okay, I don't have a bag of rice, or I don't have enough money. Maybe if it is one dabino, date. So the messenger taught you, so that you don't say, I don't have. Then he said to us, ittaqun nara, save yourselves or protect yourselves from the hell. وَلَوْ بِشِقِّ تَمْرَةٍ, even if it is with half, not one, half of a date. You may think it's nothing, but it can be useful to somebody. Somebody who haven't eaten anything, when you give him one date, it will take care of something. Or maybe like our children, I usually tell us sometimes, you give your child takes his breakfast from the house, and you prepare his lunch box for him for break. Teach your child to be able to give something out of the break food. Because with the breakfast, and when he comes back home, you will take his lunch, and he will have his dinner. If in your own house he's guaranteed those things, that break is not a necessity. He can live absolutely fine without that break food. So that which he can survive without, you should be able to teach him to share or give out of it. That just assume your child gets to school and he sees his friend who left house without breakfast because his parent doesn't have what to give him. And he is not sure of getting lunch when he gets back home. Your child should be able to sacrifice that break, that lunch, that break for that person, and go come home without anything. Just sometime, okay, maybe like I do say, parents will package those things for their children, and they will tell the child, don't give anybody. Because they will feel when he shares it, he will get what? Hungry. I usually say to brothers and sisters, pack his lunch box for him. Let him go to school. Don't tell him share. If you can tell him share, that is okay. But don't tell him share or don't share. If he gets there, let him share it all. So if hunger knocks him properly for sharing, then he will know that he needs to leave a little for himself. Let him get that experience by himself, but don't teach him the other side, the negative side. So that in terms of feeding, even right from small, you teach your children to do that. And if you cannot give out of 50 naira anything, then even if you have millions, you can give. Because no matter how wealthy you are, in most cases, you may think somebody is wealthy, his needs are more than what you think. Yes, because somebody is there. Yes, he's a multi-millionaire. As he's a multi-millionaire, okay, when Salah comes, mom is expecting ram, Uncle is expecting ram. This one wants ram. This one wants ram. By the time he even leaves, he cannot cover. Sometimes he will even be dodging some phone calls or dodging some people. Or he cannot come to the village because he cannot provide, because everybody is waiting. As they say, big man, big problem. Maybe you are even more comfortable than him. Sometimes some poor ones eat better than some rich men. Go and check. Yes. Some poor men sit down properly, comfortably, load their food. Yes. Maybe what he ate at a go, the one you are saying is rich, maybe that is what he takes for the whole day. What he ate at a go. Yes. Maybe somebody who will carry 250 loaf of bread, right? Yes, with his tea, job, and finish it. One person. Yes, that rich man, which you say he is rich, yes, he sits somewhere, and he finished eating, they gave him bill of 5,000 or 10,000. When you go and check, what did he eat? 2 loaves. 2 loaves of bread. That's all. Maybe a small cup of tea, finished. He is gone. Yes, you see his what? He's enjoying. So who is really the one enjoying? The one who ate a loaf and a jug of tea, or the one who took 2 loaves and what? A cup of tea. It depends on what you interpret as what? Enjoyment. It's okay. He is okay. He felt okay. Yeah. He doesn't have to rush himself. Yes, he takes what is available, just simple, because he knows he will get it later. Maybe, like with the small ones, what we, as you are not sure of how late so the one you see now, you want to load yourself so that at least, even, that is it. Allah Ta'ala. So when you have, no matter how little, learn to share. Think about others. When we learn to share, when we learn to give, when you occupy certain positions, then you can take care of yourself and forgetting others. Because you are used to what? Sharing. So most especially at this time. So not just complaining. As you are complaining, you are cursing somebody. So you ask yourself, somebody didn't do something. You are cursing the person, right? So you ask yourself, really, what did you do? Like the adage in Hausa, they say what? Laifi tudu ne, kan naka kake tsaye, kaman kake me, hangen na wani, ko hango na wani. That is, they say crime or sin or evil is like what? A mountain. You stand on your own. That is, you stand on your own to see another person's own. It's like something far you want to see. So they say it is your own sin that is actually your stool that you sat on or stood on to see someone else's own. But because your own is under your feet, you are not seeing it, so you are seeing what? Yes. So that is why it's easy. If you see anybody, whatever problem he has, except few people, somebody else is always responsible for his problem. Because he's looking for the fault somewhere. He doesn't look inwards. May Allah guide us. Then he says, وَتَقْرَأُ السَّلَامَ, and also say salam. عَلَى مَنْ عَرَفْتَ وَمَنْ لَمْ تَعْرِفْ, to the one you know and to the one you don't know. So let us ask ourselves, how do we greet people today? How do we say salam to people today? In most cases, we feel or think that the most appropriate thing is for you to say salam to somebody whom you know. But that is not the teachings of Islam. Yes, you pass people, say salam to them. Try something and see. Like now, even on the road you are driving, by the time you have eye contact with the other person, say salam to the person or show sign of greeting and see how the person will behave. You discover that sometimes you may be moving close to yourself. He is struggling, not wanting to give you chance. You also struggling. By the time you make that gesture, he will slow down. You can see how amazing Islam is. Yes, he doesn't know you. Yes, he was struggling with you. He doesn't want to give you chance. Just give a sign of greeting and see, smile, and you will see that struggle will stop. Some of our traffics are caused by those indecent behaviors. Yes, you see somebody next to you, frown face. Yes, if that enmity have started already. Yes, he say you are claiming right. So here, the road belongs to the two of you. Sometimes you may, because of that attitude, you may be thinking you own. Everybody have rights to the road. Even if somebody entering a street, you are the only thing is that there is a period when you hit him, they can tell you are the one who is guilty, not him that entered. He has rights to enter that street, which you think you are the one on that street. Just the way you two can need to go out of that street. In vehicles you overtake, right? Then that means somebody can change lane due to one reason or the other. He has right, you have right. If there is reason for him to move from the lane he is, he has right to move from there. Then you're supposed to give him space if that won't harm you. So you say salam. If you look at in another hadith, the Prophet taught us the benefit of saying salam because he made us to understand that that can bring about what? Love. In that hadith, he said to us that la tadkhulul jannah, because all of us will say we want jannah. You left your business, you left your work, you come to the mosque. What do you want? Jannah, right? Then he said to us that la tadkhulul jannah. He said you will not enter the paradise hatta tu'minu, until you believe. So those who go to Jannah are believers. Then he said, wala tu'minu. Even if you claim to be a believer, that claim doesn't make you a believer. Because there are attitudes that are expected of a believer. Then one of those attitudes, he says what? Wala tu'minu, you cannot be believers. Hatta tahabbu, until you love one another. So check yourself. Do you love people you relate with? Do you love other people? Even you as a Muslim, there is a situation whereby Allah expects you to love a kafir. I know it sounds confusing to some of us, right? How do you love a kafir? He is your fellow human being. You love him as a brother, and you love him to enter where you are going, and that is why you do da'wah for him. That is, it is your wish to save him. It is not your wish for him to what? To remain a kafir. And that's how the Prophet was able to pick those he brought into Islam. Yes, they were kuffar. He loved them as human beings, wanting to save them as commanded by Allah. Qu anfusakum wa ahlikum nara. Yes, you hate the kufr, but you love the person. These are two different things. And I usually say to brothers and sisters, we are not segregating. We are not differentiating an act from an actor. They are two different things. They may take two different positions. Zina takes to hell, not two ways. Zina can take you to Jannah. Zina can only take you to where? To hell. But an adulterer or a fornicator may enter Jannah, depending on if the person he commits the crime against decide to forgive or decide to retain that sin. That's not in your own hand. That's why when Prophet Isa was conversing with Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala, as it will happen on the day of judgment, Allah said to him, أَأَنْتَ قُلْتَ لِلنَّاسِ اتَّخِذُونِ وَأُمِّيَ إِلَهَيْنِ مِن دُونِ اللَّهِ. Are you the one who said to the people, take me and my mother as gods other than Allah? Then he will respond to Allah that ma qultu, he said, in kuntu qultu, if I said it. He did say I did not say it, because he knows Allah knows everything. So he said, in kuntu qultuhu, if I said it, faqad alimta, you know. So I don't have to tell you. He said, ta'lam, not what I said. He said, ta'lam ma fi nafsi, you know what is in my heart. Wala a'lam ma fi nafsik, I don't know what is in your own heart. Innaka anta allamul ghuyub. You are the knower of what? All hidden things. They say, now he is now responding normally. He say, I didn't tell them anything. Illa ma amartani bihi, except what you commanded me with. And that is what? An ibudullah, worship my Lord, Rabbi, my Lord, wa rabbakum. And your Lord, wa rabbakum, and your Lord. They say, وَكُنْتُ عَلَيْهِمْ شَهِيدٌ مَا دُمْتُ فِيهِمْ. I was a witness over them when I was with them. When after you've taken me, كُنْتَ أَنْتَ الرَّقِيبَ عَلَيْهِمْ. You are what? The one responsible for their affairs. وَأَنْتَ عَلَى كُلِّ شَيْءٍ حَفِيظٌ. Then he says, after that, إِن تُعَذِّبُهُمْ. Then he said to them, to Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala, إِن تُعَذِّبُهُمْ فَإِنَّهُمْ عِبَادٌ. If you punish them, because they've done something that is punishable, something that will lead to hell, which is shirk, but still no matter how big it is, then he said to, to the, what do you call it? He said to, Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala, in tu'adhibuhum, if you punish them, they are your servants. Wa in taghfir lahum, and if you decide to forgive them, that means he can forgive. فَإِنَّكَ أَنْتَ الْعَزِيزُ الْحَكِيمُ. So what is your own business? Forgiveness is not your own duty. That is not your area. Forgiveness is Allah's area. He forgives. يَغْفِرُ لِمَنْ يَشَاءُ وَيُعَذِّبُ مَنْ يَشَاءُ. He forgives whom he likes and punishes whomever he likes. Because it's he that is being offended, not you. Like I gave the example some time back. Yes, anyone who kills someone unjustly, killing people, murder is hell. That's the position. But a murderer may be forgiven by Allah. Okay, but you will say, okay, what of those he killed? How will justice be done between him and them? Allah knows how. That's not your own business. Don't enter an area that is not your own jurisdiction. Some even in our own country, or in even other places, yes, someone can be sentenced and he can get presidential pardon. Your fellow human being, right? Yes, you sentence someone and he can get presidential pardon and he's pardoned and there's nothing you can do. So the owner of that person can pardon the person. This one is not the owner. They are equal. All servants of Allah. So if the servant can, pardon the servant and the owner of the servant cannot pardon his servant, yes, he pardoned him and he can compensate you with another thing now. So he won't also oppress you. Maybe he gives you Jannah. If you give this one, give him Jannah. Maybe your own deed will not take you to Jannah. Maybe as a result of pardoning this one, maybe he will also pardon you for some other things and he gives you Jannah. He knows which way to compensate everybody. أقول ما تسمعون وأستغفر الله العظيم الجليل لي ولكم ولسائر المسلمين من كل ذنب وخطايا وأستغفره هو الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه ومن والاه أما بعد عباد الله أوصيكم بتقوى الله العظيم وحسن. So the area of Salah, we need to work on it. Today, some of us have gotten to a level of hating one another. To the extent that you see somebody, you don't even want to see the person. We hate ourselves today based on what? Tribal differences. Yes, you hate that person. And you don't want that hatred to go. You see, when hatred eats you to certain level, you end up killing yourself or harming yourself or turning yourself to an animal. I know it may sound incomprehensible to some of us. Yes, you've had a situation whereby because of the level of hatred of some people to the policemen, they killed them, roasted them, and ate them. So, who is worse? The one who eats the person or the one who is oppressing the person? Who? That is, he killed the person. That means you retaliated what the person is doing because it's what? Killing, right? You say the person killed you extrajudicially. Because now you killed the person, you roasted the person, and you ate the person. Yeah, that's where hatred takes you to. In most cases, when that controls your action, then you become worse than the person you think is evil. That's why even you as a Muslim, Even for the sake of Islam, Allah is warning you the level you hate those who are non-Muslims. That's why Allah told you as a believer in the Quran that وَلَا يَجْرِمَنَّكُمْ شَنَآنُ قَوْمٍ عَلَىٰ أَنْ لَا تَعْدِلُوا اعْدِلُوا هُوَ أَقْرَبُ لِلتَّقْوَى. You said you should not allow you the hatred for any set of people to drive you into what? To stop you from doing justice. You say be just, that is best, most what? Closest to what? To piety. So we need, if we want to save ourselves from some of the crises we are having, we need to, this short hadith, wallahi, it will solve a lot of problems in a long way. When you love someone, you will not want to harm the person. And when you hate someone, no matter how good the person is, except if Allah saves the person, you will always want to damage the person at all costs. That's human nature. And that is why in terms of testimony, in the court, the best witness you will have is a testimony given for you, that is given in your favor by your enemy. To those of us who want to know, the best witness, your enemy will lie for you, the court will accept it. Because ordinarily, the expectation is the opposite. It's just like the way we play our politics. In most cases, those in opposition, most of the things they will say about the other person, most will not be true. It doesn't matter whether the present government or the past government. It doesn't matter whether it is those ones there now against those who left, or those who left against those who are here now. And that is why when we have our problems, we cannot solve it. We can't solve it because we are not looking for truth. We are looking to a way to nail our enemy. That's it. And that's why when our issues come, we can resolve them. We can resolve them because we are not looking for truth. And when you are not searching for truth, you are not solving any problem. Because the Prophet says in the hadith that as-sidqu yahdi ila al-birr and al-kadhib yahdi ila al-fujur. That's the reality. So for us to solve our problem, each tribe have to love the other tribe. Each group have to love the other group. Yes, you can hate the bad things they do. Work on removing the bad things, but you don't hate them as a people. We are all related as a human being because we are all children of Prophet Adam alayhi salatu wasalam. So family-wise, blood-wise, like I said, the hatred will make you to look at somebody same like you and you think you are better than the person. I usually say to brothers and sisters, if you think you are better than any tribe, I'm asking you, is your own father God? Yeah. If your father is God, truly you are better. You know, God is better than Prophet Adam. Yes, if he is your own father, and the other person, his own father is Prophet Adam, you can say family line, you are better than him. But if it is family line, me and you, whether you are a Muslim or a Christian, the Bible told you your grandfather is who? Adam alayhi salatu wasalam. And your grandmother is who? Adam, Hawa alayhi salam. So our chain is the same. So the same blood inside you is the same blood inside me. Even if no matter how rotten you think I am. Family-wise, you are not different. At the end, what are you? You are sand. To tell everyone, that is what he is. Because your source is what? Sand. So nobody is not sand. Nobody is not sand. The Hausa is a sand. The Igbo is a sand. The Yoruba is a sand. So let us see the tribe that will tell me they are not sand. From there, we'll now ask the person, where is your own Islam? Yeah. Because you cannot be a Muslim if you say what Allah say you are. You are not that. And if we are sand, so what's the problem? What's the arrogancy for? Nobody owns anything. Allah owns the land and He owns the people. May Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala unite us, save our country, save us from the crisis we are facing. Those getting themselves in evil things, may Allah save them from it. And those who are not in evil things, may Allah save them from falling into it. And then may Allah protect them from anyone who will think of anything evil towards them. Those in position of authority, those who are doing the right thing, may Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala strengthen them. Those doing the wrong thing, may Allah guide them to mend their ways so that we can all live in peace. Those of us under them as well. Those of us doing the right thing or saying the right thing, may Allah make it easy for us and strengthen us. And those doing the wrong thing or saying the wrong thing, may Allah Ta'ala guide us also. Because there's problem everywhere. And may Allah Ta'ala enlighten all of us to be able to live a happy life in this world and in the hereafter. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار.